So with that said, let's begin this. What did you think of this banner, by the way, Legion? Did you think this banner was actually going to happen? Tell me straight, you liar.
Okay, so no.
There you go.
I thought this would be next month.
I thought it was going to be Shadows of Valentia.
I thought it'd be
actually
Echoes.
was more considering FE7 because last year it went Sacred Stones, Thracia, Genealogy, I believe, and then it went FE7, 3 houses.
Yeah.
So they kind of stepped it up a little bit and changed the pattern. Finally,
The last focus that Shadows of Valentia and Gaiden got at all was Valentine's last year. The last new Heroes banner that they got was, I want to say, October of 19?
correct?
That's
I
why.
thought they were just going in order of what they did last time,
Right.
not trying to finally do Valentia, much as I wish they did.
That's why that's why the thumbnail is friggin' Ledgering Alm. Well, a variant of Ledgering Alm. Conquer Alm. But yeah, was obviously wrong. I was so surprised to see 3 houses because it's been again Mythic Ceros into Ledgering Claude into a 3 houses banner. I did never expected that to be the thing.
The spam is real, but at least the cast is more varied than the Fates Royals.
That's true.
I mean, they have consistently been adding new heroes every single time, to such a point where we're almost done with the Academy arc. We are missing 4 characters from the Academy arc students of each house. That's it, including seasonals. Just 4.
So we are only missing.
Who would those be?
The guy with the glasses.
Yes, and then also Leonie,
Nuts.
Ash,
Leonie,
Ash, and
The only one I really care about is Ash, by the way. That's who's remaining.
Yeah. So Ignatz, Leonie, Ash, and then who would the last one be?
Oh, I guess Leonie as well. Yeah.
Casper.
Caspar.
Oh, Caspar, yeah.
Whoops.
Oops. Yeah. Also, quick, everyone, act surprised. We have yet another healer demote.
Oh no. Okay, we'll talk about it later. But Linhardt, he's gonna have to entirely rely on the stats separating him, because if it doesn't, I really think he's gonna be Ozma 2.0, because that's what immediately from looking at Pain, that's what I'm expecting. But we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully he doesn't have as low of an attack stat, or if he does, just real bulk like Merlin is. We'll see.
Okay, but really quickly, chat was so stupidly unruly and excited about Marianne. Going over Ingrid, I couldn't even talk about Ingrid. It was just a bit donation going into chat like every 10 seconds. So I would say like 5 words and get interrupted immediately. I'm so surprised that people were like, well, I'm not that surprised, but I'm so surprised that people would like, because here's the thing, as good as this Marianne will be, and I think she'll be pretty good. I don't think she's a game changer. Well, she's a game changer in the fact that she brought blue dual infantry, but from a unit perspective, I don't think she's a game changer. It's just I expect Brave Marianne to be significantly better. So I'm surprised people were like as excited as they were, because I would still think if you were serious about getting the best Marianne possible, unless you're a whale, then you can make +10 both. But if you're serious about the best +10 Marianne possible, it would be a Choose Your Legends one.
And that's not even just because of Icy Fimble better, it's because the other Marianne's gonna have 2 skills to herself.
Yeah, perf skills
Most
as well.
likely. Yeah, most likely, but we can't 100% count that, mostly because, sorry, Dimitri, despite being #1 on the male side, arguably the weakest on CYL4.
Yeah, but that's because it's Dimitri. I'm sorry.
That's just because it's its archetype.
Okay. Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, it's funny because I completely agree with that, by the way, because like a lot of other people think Claude is just immaculate. Like his ceiling is higher than everybody else. Because again, when it comes to stats, chat, you can fix that. You can buff for stats, but overpowered skills and whatnot, nah, that's something you gotta actually like. It has to be there. You won't be able to fix that part.
Yeah, skills are everything at the end of the day.
Yep.
Unless you're Freya.
What? She's still good.
She's
Wow,
all
okay.
speed.
Still good, but also still very susceptible.
Okay, sure. All right, let's start talking about the heroes. I'm actually inclined to say the hero that I like the most from this banner is Ingrid.
And I am inclined to agree.
Because I brought this up. The last time we had a Fire Sweep Lancer was Roderick, wasn't it? Like, that was it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
For
like,
cavalry.
Right.
What about an? Oh yeah, Dehorba. Haha.
So there really wasn't anything here. That's why I think it's really impressive, because Lewin is actually freakishly good. Special trio cooldown count -1 is impressive. This immediately opens up the prospect of using Gale Force on her really, really well. And she's already jacking up her attack with attack speed solo 4, rouse attack speed, and of course law speed defense. Doesn't add to her attack for heavy blade purposes, but it helps her hit harder. And of course, if unit initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants speed +6 during combat, which kind of seems lackluster until you realize she gets a damage boost based on 20% of unit speed, which if she has 50 speed, chat, that's what, 10 damage? So that's a pretty sizable margin of damage.
Think of Pegasus Nino when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If unit speed is over foe speed +5, foe cannot counterattack. Conditional Fire Sweep is also very nice, because she can counterattack, and you can't double her, and you can't one-shot her, and she can hit you back. It's scary. Because, again, if she's attacking you, and you're not counterattacking, she's taking no damage. She has her entire bulk for you to still deal with. Now, her base HP isn't great, right? It's 37. But still, if she's at full HP with all her buffs and everything, and you can't kill her immediately, or she forces you to take 2 shots on her, that could be detrimental and cause you to lose.
Yeah. Needless to say, her bulk is going to be awful.
Yeah.
But
if she has awful bulk, that means she's going to have amazing attack and speed.
yeah, she might have a little more like, think Freya, but maybe just a little bulkier at the cost of some speed, because I don't think anybody's going to be as fast as Freya.
I have a feeling that Ingrid might be approaching being as fast as Freya at the cost of some attack, though, because in 3 houses itself, Ingrid's attack growth or strength growth is generally kind of lackluster.
But she's
But her
69.
speed growth is some of the high.
She's 69 to Sword Flyer, though.
Nah, that
Ooh.
attack's still going to probably be pretty good.
No, I expect her
If
attack
I
to
were-
be pretty sizable.
If I wanted to, I could probably reverse calculate it because of the Moonbow, but I don't. Maybe I will, though. I'll work on that. But yeah, I expect to see some ridiculous speed. Maybe 43, probably not 44.
Okay.
The fact that she has to
Fine.
outspeed by 5 is the only part that might save some people. But that's
Yeah.
not much a grace when you have slow tanks.
But yeah, chat. She's adding essentially 13 attack, like directly. So I do think Heavy Blade is a legitimate option. Now, it might be a struggle to actually out-attack her opponents to trigger Heavy Blade, but she will not struggle to out-damage. Like, that 20% of unit speed that's a nutty amount. Because if she gets 2 shots in, and just say she has 50 speed, which I think is very reasonable for her to reach, yeah, that's like 20 true damage. You can smash your opponents. Like, I feel like she's basically like a wealthy man's like Patrine in a way, because Patrines are a free-to-play cav hero who does a shit ton of damage, but it doesn't have Fire Sweep. But she is free-to-play, so I feel like it's gonna be like kind of like that.
Yeah, something like that.
But yeah, the kid is really good, because Moonbow, Glimmer, or whatever else you want as a 2 cooldown special, because she only has 1 cooldown thanks to her lands, she attacks and then she uses a special. That's incredibly deadly. You better have guard on her against her, or she will like destroy you.
Yep, that not much disputing that. That's gonna be absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I'm just interested in seeing who actually makes an Ingrid. Which, by the way, would you even adjust anything in the clip in the kit? I think I might do Glimmer over Moonbow, but that's about it.
That depends. Glimmer doesn't scale off true damage, so I would probably just stick to Moonbow.
But
Yeah.
Moonbow doesn't. But true damage doesn't scale off of anything. It's just true damage.
Yeah. So why? So, I mean, if our attack isn't going to be insane beyond belief, might as well just stick to Moonbow, because generally they're going to be dealing with slow tanks.
Okay.
Most likely.
And obviously, if you guys can afford it, Ruptured Sky would be the clearest option, but expensive.
Well, yeah, that'd be easy route. But, yeah, one can never have the fodder, I suppose.
Yeah. Other than that, of course, Heavy Blade Gale Force. We'll see if she can pull it off, but I do believe she will be able to.
Yeah, I see it very well working out for her. I will figure out exactly where that's going to look like. But, no, so far, I will say right now, I think this is going to be one of the best units on the banner easily.
Yeah.
Probably the one that will get the most meta usage. Because I'll just say right now, I do not want to have to face her in a cab line.
Yeah. That's the point I was trying to make. I actually think she's the most impactful hero here. Despite how popular Marianne is, and despite how good Dedue is, but I think he's gonna get foddered a lot more.
Yeah,
that's my expectation.
Unlike Gustav, even Dedue is probably just gonna be the one that gets used for skills before anything else.
Yeah,
which is fine.
And I can even see that for Marianne because Law Attack res, Joint Drive res, and then of course Blue Dual Infantry. I'm actually curious to see. I do expect to see a few of them in +10s, but they seem more fodderable. Ingrid, I think people will actually give a chance and use her.
Yeah, I think that Ingrid's even unmerged, Ingrid's going to probably be the unit that just gets used. There's not going to be much to say about that.
Okay.
She'll just get used.
But
which is good.
So I just did some basic calculations, doing a rough estimate, assuming that she's just reaching 50 speed and that the Sword Flyer has 23 defense. I think that's close to what they've got. Ingrid is going to have around 36 attack.
That's fair.
That's fair. But if it's 36, she can still pull things off.
Yeah, no, she'll still be able to definitely pull off things with that speed stat, attack stat.
By the way, that's her attack stat is completely deceptive, chat. So don't worry about it being actually low. The only thing that will really impact you is like whether you can heavy blade or not. In terms
of with Gale Force.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of actual performance, and yeah, in terms of damage, yeah, I wouldn't worry at all.
Yeah, the damage will be there, but her weapon doesn't give attack. Only her A slot by base kit. Yep. And if you're running lunge, well, you can't get more.
Yeah.
So, if anything, the only thing that's going to suck is trying to heavy blade proc her.
Yeah. Which, by the way, this also nails the coffin shut on, like, the very few blue lance calves in the game that are not called Patrine. Which, by the way, who are they anyways? Like, Perry's dead, but Perry's been dead for a long time.
Perry's been in a ditch for a long time, so that's not surprising. Let's see what we got.
Perry.
I think
Lance Cavaliers are far and few between, but to go through.
Basically, the only relevant.
Sirius and Percival.
But yeah, they were always getting foddered too. Even though they're really good, but they're always getting foddered.
Yeah, they're both actually tanky. Well, Sirius not a res tank, but especially Percival is a mixed tank, and I don't think Ingrid treads on that. But
right,
like offensively, strictly, you got like Patrine, who I think is going to be almost worse than Ingrid. Finally. There's some competition for Ingrid, for Patrine rather.
Yeah, actually, chat, it still blows my mind how good Patrine was when she released. People thought I overreacted when I said she was like, she was absurdly unfair because she just stomped all over every free-to-play Lancer, or sorry, Cav Lancer, and even non-free-to-play Cav Lancers, she was just stomping over.
Or at least competing with. Like, I'd say that she's vying with both Sirius and Percival right now is the best Lance Calf.
Okay, yeah. But
Dussel.
Until Dussel released, which was actually
Dussel.
The best Lance Cav.
How do you forget about the wall of walls on a cat?
By speed.
I think I deleted him from my mind because every Tempest Trials is just like, oh, I hope I don't find a Dussel, so I'll, get through this easily. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Dussel will probably still have his role, but being Fire Sweep Cav, that gives Ingrid an interesting edge out the gate.
Yep.
And the speed meta is always relevant. So,
alright.
Definitely a
right
top 3 Lance Cav, I'll say that much.
Top 3 Lance Calves right now, I would say Dussel, as soon as the update drops, Ingrid. Well, actually, no, as soon as the banner drops, because the banner isn't until Friday, but the update is tomorrow.
Correct.
And then, so Ingrid, Dussel, and I would say it's between Petrine for targeting res or Percival for having that guard effect in his.
Yep, that I wholly agree.
The other thing
So-
about Petrine that people shouldn't ignore is that she's effective against beast units, and while that's not as relevant today, they've been adding more and more beast units. One day it'll really make a difference, just not yet.
Once I have a beast banner for Radiant Dawn, it'll start to have its relevance again.
Yeah. The next
Just
gen
having
beast
beast
units.
effectiveness makes Petrine pretty good for pawns of Loki too.
Ah, true.
Yep. Yeah, no. Petrine's value can't be understated, but I do think that Ingrid is going to finally take the spot as the next most valuable speed cav for
Mhm.
lances.
Yep. And it's probably going to stay that way until September.
Okay. Why do you figure September?
Brave Elliewood.
Okay.
Oh yeah, when it gets his refine,
When it gets
finally.
refined. All right, fair enough.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Which, by
but-
the way, no one uses Brave Valley Wood.
and they might once he gets his refine. We never know. And
Okay.
He is an Ellie. He is an Elliewood, so we know how Elliewood is.
All right.
Elliewood
But-
always gets the good shit.
Okay, sure. Anyways,
I'll just say the one thing I'm surprised about is that Ingrid is not a flyer. I know that she
Yeah.
was a flyer before, but it's interesting that she decided to ride a different mount this time.
Anyways, Dedu. By the way, Dedu, he's somehow an armored unit. The man is in his student uniform. How are you an
Liar.
armored unit?
He's just that big. It's the square cube law in action.
Yeah. And he's massive. Like, those pants are so absurdly tight, yet they're so large. But because he's just that built, it's ridiculous.
For reference, Dedu is bigger than Raphael.
Isn't he? Is he like I was questioning myself there. Is he the second tallest or the tallest or the biggest guy overall?
Pretty sure he is the
Dedu
tallest
is
person.
the tallest.
Okay, so
Yeah,
yeah. All right.
Let me check. How's his height chart?
He's over
Um,
2 meters, I know that much.
Yeah, so at least in the Academy arc, he's 204 centimeters.
Wait, how old is he?
Which, 18. Hold on.
I want to say Dedu is like 20 in the Academy arc.
He has to be older.
He's like 6'6". So,
Yeah.
roughly. Yeah. Let me see. Does he have one? 18.
Okay. Makes sense. He has to be fully well, I guess you could still grow at 18, but yeah. You have to be at the tail end growing because that's huge.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, no, this guy is a demon. He does not grow between the two arcs.
Okay, makes sense. He's done
Yeah.
growing. Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say if he kept growing just like Dedu's 6'6" and an Academy arc, you see him afterwards after the time skip, and he's like 7'5". No, he's just no. I'm glad he stops growing because otherwise he really would have been just a mountain.
Yeah, no.
And he kind of already is.
He already is, let's be honest here.
Yeah.
And it shows with the way he's kitted out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, but with that said, Steadfast Axe plus, this is a familiar ability. If units within 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack defense +5 to unit and neutralizes units' penalties to attack defense during combat.
Hey, it's almost like the pirate weapons, but not a solo condition.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Well, and by the way, he's 6'7". It is the same as Carrot Cudgel.
Okay. Which,
So
they just keep
No, I screwed that one up badly.
they keep making
Yeah.
variances on this. Like it's
Yeah,
so
they've been-
similar. Either be 2 spaces to an ally or don't be near any ally. It's basically the same
Fair.
thing.
it's fair. I mean, those are probably the two conditions that can be easiest tied to demote weapons because
Yeah.
they're not the easiest to maintain. As opposed to like if unit's HP is at or above 25, 50%,
hmm
like Candle, for example, Courtly Candle.
Also,
But-
chat. Sorry.
Hmm?
I was just gonna say
I was
really
gonna
quickly.
Okay.
Chat. Stop questioning why he's an armored unit. Just go back to year 1 when we had Christmas Tharja, who was literally like half naked, and she was an armored unit. You don't need to question this.
And isn't as big as Dedue by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, let's be honest here. Tharja, Christmas Tharja is wearing less than some of our summer units.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. So, got nothing on Dedue. But, yeah. Bartra... Jeez. Bartra, I guess, not bringing his axe brought the sword variant. So there wasn't an axe variant overall on this. So it's nice to see that Dedue finally brings that in. It seems like this is just the way they're doing things now, where weapons that didn't have an existing variant from the seasonal pool are just getting into the main pool. Like they did with Unbound Blade on Anand, and now Steadfast Axe on Dedue.
Okay.
And it's not bad.
I'm just gonna say now though, it doesn't matter because he's getting foddered. Because I think people think
he is 100% getting foddered either for near save or he's gonna be foddered for that axe.
No, can't you just get
very good axe.
near save and sturdy stance 3? Because sturdy stance 1, 2.
You could.
Like,
yes, you can. You can take 2 out of 3.
He's a hyper effective fodder hero, and unlike the thing we held against Gustav was just like, well, foddering Gustav was just like, well, his axe is super good, so you wouldn't want to do that. This axe is okay.
You can't fodder Gustav's axe anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, that's the point I'm trying to make. Like, we held it against him in the respect of, and close defense is nice and all, but you actually fight dragons, and in a lot of cases is like, well, you would like to have guard. In his case, it didn't matter, right? Because he came with, what was it, Crafty Fighter?
Crafty Fighter. Yeah. So, unless you want Slick Fighter, which is silly, then you wouldn't need to run Bracing 3.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, this is probably better for most people.
Yeah, I will definitely say. This is the unit you want to kill for saves.
Yeah.
And I think that's the intention.
Yep.
Obviously, Dedue is probably going to bring some decent stats, but if he already has 50 HP, and if he's Dedue, he's probably not going to have a lot of res, even compared to Gustav.
Yeah, that's the thing that surprised me, because the blue Manakite actually does, like, what, just over a dozen damage? 13 or something?
Yeah, 13 damage to an axe tank.
It was 17.
13.
So yeah, I'm genuinely interested in seeing, but I expect him to have no speed. This man looks like he can't even, like, move.
He looks like a statue, flame tongue, isn't it?
Huh?
Yeah, that was just flame tongue.
Yep. So
and that's what, 14 might for the breath?
Something like that. Yeah, if you want to do the reverse calculations, by all means.
I'm gonna just guess he has a decent amount of bulk, because
I'm gonna guess like
his res itself is gonna be mediocre at best.
I'm gonna guess like 31 res. Okay. But if that's the case, his speed's gonna be trash.
I expect his speed to be trash, but even then, Chad, I expect him to be foddered off because he's still 5-star locked. And do you really want to make a plus 10 to do when you could like use near save 30 stance 3? Yes. I know, but I'm talking about the general player. If you're a super fan, nothing applies to you because you'll just do whatever you want for your favorite character, which is absolutely valid. But for the average player, like, could you actually bear with taking, like, 10, 11 copies of Dedue? Like, you could kit out multiple save teams. It's crazy.
Yeah. Dedue is definitely the guiltless fodder for a lot of people. And Sturdy Stance 3 with save is just such a clean fodder combo that can set up any... Especially because, like you said, dragons aren't really that important to saviors. Yeah. Might as well just stack defense. You don't need to stack res.
Yep.
So this is perfect for a lot of armors. Like, if you want to build a near save Edelgard, for example, Brave Edelgard, I know that you lose DC, but she's a savior. You don't need it. So if you want to, you can just run 80 near save with Sturdy Stance. Sure, her res is in the dust, but it doesn't matter because now her defense is insane.
Mm-hmm. So even in terms of the save skill, I think it's better than Gustav's because Gustav is DR near save, defense and res. Mm-hmm. This is AD near save, which gives you a better chance of eliminating your opponent because you get a bit more attack. And of course, while it is valid that we fight dragons, say Saros nowadays, honestly, it's still pretty rare. Like, generally, you're not worried about, in particular, fighting Saros because you should be carrying counters towards her anyways. Saros is still scary. I'm not going to discount that fact, but I'm just saying, like, in general, that res portion isn't really getting used as much as, say, the attack portion would.
Yep. And I'm not opposed necessarily to using DR in your save, because sometimes you just want to focus on not dying and not rather than killing.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially if you don't want to overkill a defense for some reason. But this one will probably be the much more practical save in a lot of units' cases.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I feel bad for people who went super hard to get Gustav.
Yeah, I was about to say, I feel bad now, because as I'm saying this, I'm thinking, well, how many people have already killed for DR in your save?
Because the thing is, Gustav was a much better user of save skills thanks to Lola's axe. Killing him off would have been better if you just wait for Dedu. But no, you can't really blame players
You
because
can't predict that.
well, actually, I think some people can argue you can because remember rain skills?
Oh yeah, they were quick to jump on.
They
those.
were so fast. We were like, oh wow, attack speed rain, this is amazing. And people were like, well, we don't know when this is coming back. So you see like heroes like Ashnar with attack speed rain, and you're just like, what are you doing? The speed portion does nothing. But they're like, well, we don't know. And then like relatively soon. But nobody thought it was coming out this fast. That's the thing though. This is the banner's still here, guys. The banner is still here.
Yeah, no kidding. And nothing against people who do that at all. You do you. Some people really wanted to jump on that train, and honestly, it's made a lot of defenses much more powerful, so who can blame them?
Yeah.
That said, it does kind of suck because you can pull Dedu at any time after this banner.
Yeah.
You know, when applicable, and these can be sparked.
Yep. That's the sparking part is the most important part to me. Because for those forgot, you can't spark on Love of a King, so you actually had to just go all in and try and get. Which, by the way, that was a color shared banner.
Still waiting on dive bomb.
With Alphon's potential pity break.
Yeah. So I'll just say right now, if you are somebody who went all in to try and get Gustav for a save skill, I hope you enjoyed what was that 2-3 weeks earlier usage of it, because that probably leaves a bitter taste in your mouth that you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Glad I didn't do that. So glad I didn't kill Gustav.
Yep.
Yeah, no.
I'm good with it.
All right.
And the thing, by the way, the big thing to note is that saves score 300 SP, so if you give it to a +10 Brave Edelgard, it doesn't harm her score. You can literally just make a max score kit still. So that's the interesting part to note.
Yeah.
All right.
I did I basically did the calculations based on the stats that are on Game Press for blue Manicheats, and assuming that it's just a 5-star lock. I mean, how many stats usually get added from just these base stats that we see?
I don't pay attention to those. I usually use whatever map most recently had that kind of unit type. So I would probably just use those for now. Whatever's there.
Yeah. But just going off of the stats that I am seeing on this, it looks like Dedu has res in the mid-upper 20s.
Interesting. Yeah, if his res is bad, then I would definitely say he's more fodderable. By far.
I'm sorry, but Edelgard and Brave Hector are going to eat this guy up.
Yep. He's so toast.
Loading, calculating, all hail the princess.
The Manicheats themselves, the generic ones, are mostly the same, right? As far as their stat distribution?
At least right now, yeah.
Okay.
Later in the book, they get inflated. But their speed stats, I believe, are like mid-upper 30s, so we can't say anything on that.
30.
All I'll say, yeah. So all I'll say
it's
is
just 30 flat.
Okay, great. Let's just move on.
Yeah, no, I'll just say he's dead. He's so dead.
Yeah. I'm sorry, chat. Again, I've mentioned this before. Best two in my books for save skills are Brave Hector and what?
Brave Edelgard.
Brave Edelgard. Why am I blanking? Of course, Spring of Dune is really good as well, but that's a double weakness hero. Even if I guess you can use her dual skill, but you know what I mean. Like, it's not as clean.
It's not as clean depending on what you're using that for.
Yep. So Edelgard moves really well, has damage reduction, and Brave Hector doesn't count as armor, which is why they're both good. All right. Anyways, Linhardt. This is the probably gonna go really quickly. The real question
Another generic healer, yay!
The real question is, does this mean Distant Guard demoted to 4 stars?
I think so.
I hope so, but I'm not gonna hold my breath.
Because if it,
I mean, they already did it on. They did a 5-star locked already on Marianne.
Because the problem is like it's renewal. If it's not Distant Guard, it's renewal, and it'll be our 4th renewal.
our third renewal.
Third renewal,
Force
Force Pool.
Salty corn fans alert.
Oh yeah. Okay, look, chat. I'm on Team Saros' side. I know some of you guys are disappointed that you lost to Saros, but we could still have a dragon win, and therefore you win in spirit. So join Team Saros today.
Holy crap, Saros actually won.
Yeah,
I will join her tomorrow.
I'm surprised you didn't think she would. She had from all the polls I did, she had
12 yeah. No, she didn't have 12 times. She
did not have
Oren had a
bonus.
Karis and all of his followers backing her up.
I'm
Much more
surprised
clear-handed,
you.
I might
I'm
add.
surprised you believe that was gonna matter.
On the
No-
other
no.
hand, we have the people who actually voted for Saros.
No offense, no offense, chat, but like, don't overthink it. Like, sure, I mean, he's a content creator, but we're not talking about someone like Alpha Rad, right? Who like could legitimately swing a vote because of how many like followers and viewers he has. I don't think Akaris was gonna do it because every poll I did had Saros being over a third of the people like wanting her to win. Like that's a noticeable amount versus Corrin, which was like half of that. And of course, I looked at the voting gauntlet percentages and whatnot, and they just clearly showed me Saros had more people on her side, like a notable margin. That's why
This final round is going to be a pick your poison kind of thing.
pick your poison.
Yeah.
Oh well, I'll be honest. I'm happy.
Well, I'll
with this
just
final
tell you
round.
this.
Yeah?
I'm joining Saros next round.
Yay! Honestly, chat, I'm happy with this final round because I wanted Saros to win. And if she doesn't win and Lynn wins, well, as Lynn is my favorite character, how upset can I truly be? You know.
It's a win-win for you.
Yeah.
Lin, so to say.
All right.
Huh.
All right. Really
Speaking
cool.
of Lynn,
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Lynn, here we got Linhardt.
Oh. Chad, do you remember when Linhardt first got released? People were like, did they take Reinhardt and Brave Lynn from FEH? And since everyone just kept using them together, it made Linhardt. I'm just like, I never realized that, and it disgusted me. And that's why going into 3 houses, I hated Linhardt. And then I found out he was like a lazy person, and I hated him even more. I hate people like that. But yeah. Hey, he's in the game now. Congratulations. He's not going to be great.
Yeah. I mean, it really depends on how he manages to make himself interesting through stats.
He's going to be another generic infantry healer who's... How much HP does he even have in this?
39.
39. So he might not be bulky, but he might have really high speed.
Here's the thing.
Pretty good speed.
But he's going up against Emmeryn, and I think Emmeryn's going to have him beat there.
No, he's going up against Natasha at this point. Emmeryn's kind of... She's got a different role than he already looks to have by having HP.
Wait, well, how much speed does Natasha have?
I think she has 32, but she has 36 attack.
Then oh, well, yeah, overall, in terms of attack speed balance, she's better than Emmeryn, but Emmeryn has more speed.
Yeah. And I mean, if you really want to get into the nuance of it, you have Aramia,
Okay.
who is just like a point faster. So Linhardt could very well beat that. We'll have to see, though.
Well, I'm just gonna be honest, Chad. I'm not excited at all. The only thing I really care about is, did they demote Distant Guard? That's all I really want to know.
If they did, honestly, perfect. That's probably one of my favorite C slots. And the fact that it could possibly be 4-star now is great.
Yeah.
Finally.
To be honest,
I
chat,
would not promote Merlinus for it.
I'm surprised they didn't release Linhardt earlier and save Mercedes, because I'm just... I mean, it's pretty clear which the fans prefer more, by the way, so... I'm surprised, because Mercedes got released early and her BST is going to be lower than Linhardt, despite the fact
Dramatically.
that... Yeah.
'Cause Mercedes... Oh god, how much BST
2 gens
does she
back.
even have? Yeah,
She's
I'm
2 gens
looking.
back, I believe 156, 157.
157.
There you go. So Linhardt is going to be around 166, 167, probably 166. Much better unit.
Yeah.
We'll see what they do with him. It's all a matter of stats, and this trailer means nothing because he's fighting a 3-star axe fighter.
And even then, he's doing 19 times 2. Well, I get he has the staff penalties, but it's just still 19 times 2.
It would be 38.
Okay.
If that axe fighter is like 10 res, look, even if actually he's doing 38 damage, if that axe fighter is even like 10 res, that could be like 36 attack.
I don't think
Might
he
be a
has
little less.
10 res. That's
I'll double check with those kinds of units.
All right, who cares? We'll see. I'm sorry, it's friggin' Linhardt. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I don't blame you. but just please make Distant Guard 4-star. I have nothing against renewal, but just please. Pull off the band-aid already.
Okay.
Yeah, no, the Axe Fighter actually has like 7 res. Axe Fighters have like 7 to 10 res. So he actually might have a good attack stat.
Okay, we'll see. Yeah, even if you like Linhardt, don't take it personally. It's just healers. They've been demoting healers a dime a dozen. It's like every other banner we get a demoted healer nowadays. So I'm sorry, like don't expect me to be excited about it. It's really hard to at this point.
At the end of the day,
there's a reason I said. Sorry, yeah. There's a reason I said, quick, everyone, act surprised.
Yep.
Well, at the end of the day, Fire Emblem has a lot of weak healers, a lot of early healers, and they're all coming in at once.
But that's what surprises me, because in 3 houses, classing is such a big aspect of the game. You don't have to make him a healer.
I don't even remember what does he even default to?
Bishop.
Right.
Well,
it's like yeah. I mean, sometimes like, nah.
Since it's from 3 houses, that means every house is gonna provide a healer, but that's kind of silly.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways,